ETH is in a quagmire of what is it? Why do I need it? Why is it unique? And I just think right now there's limits to how much this narrative is going to be able to grow with the market cap. I think Bitcoin, the narrative is so simple. You can call it digital gold, but it's a fixed supply money. People love this idea of a fixed supply money. That narrative completely scales. It can completely scale up to 10 trillion, even $100 trillion market cap. Whereas Ethereum's new narrative du jour is not going to scale.
Welcome to our channel. In today's video, we'll delve deep into the journey of Ethereum, one of the most significant and influential cryptocurrencies, through the expert insights of Fred Krueger. Ethereum faces stiff competition from other blockchain platforms like Avalanche, Near, and Polygon, which offer faster and cheaper transactions. Additionally, Solana poses a threat in the DeFi space with its efficiency. Ethereum's struggle to define a unique, compelling narrative amidst this competition highlights its current challenges. Looking at Ethereum's market performance relative to Bitcoin, we see significant fluctuations. During the ICO boom, Ethereum outperformed Bitcoin, but it later struggled as the DeFi narrative faded. The proof-of-stake transition and the ultra-sound money narrative briefly boosted Ethereum, but their effects were short-lived. Currently, Ethereum's market position is unstable, and its future growth depends on finding a sustainable and convincing narrative.
But I'm just saying, we're not there yet. It's really not happening. And, a lot of times people like these ideas that are sufficiently out in the future that they can hype them and they never have to kind of give any progress report as to how close they are to achieving the results. So unfortunately, that's kind of, I think, where we are with ETH. ETH now has another problem, which is, whatever the narrative is, you now have a lot of competition. So, you have competition from the likes of Avalanche, Near, on the DeFi side, or Polygon, where the things are happening faster and cheaper, they're more efficient, they tend to work better. And then you have competition from the likes of Solana on the NFT side. So you just got, ETH is in a quagmire of what is it? Why do I need it? Why is it unique? And I just think right now there's limits to how much this narrative is going to be able to grow with the market cap. I think Bitcoin, the narrative is so simple. You can call it digital gold, but it's a fixed supply money. People love this idea of a fixed supply money. That narrative completely scales. It can completely scale up to 10 trillion, even $100 trillion market cap. Whereas Ethereum's new narrative du jour is not going to scale. So that's kind of where I am on Ethereum. I just do not think net it's it's really going to survive. And let's just take a real quick look, shall we, at the I'd like to take a really quick look at the ETH BTC cross, and you can sort of see where we are on this thing. So in 2017 we had this ICO mania that took us all the way from 0.01 to 0.11, so it 10x versus Bitcoin here, really outperformed Bitcoin. And then that really completely collapsed versus Bitcoin. And then we have this rise of DeFi, right, that came all the way up here and brought it all the way back to almost 0.8, right? And then once the DeFi narrative sort of petered out in 2022, now we went to the proof of stake model and this ultrasound money thing, which is not working, right? So you can see basically the cross that just not working. And right here we're having this little blip of, oh, we've just got an ETF, right? And now we're a tokenization platform. So they're trying to pull another one of these things. I don't think it's going to work. I think this thing just keeps on going down.
Ethereum's current narrative focuses on tokenization, inspired by comments from influential figures like Larry Fink. The idea is that stocks, real estate, and other assets could be tokenized and traded on the blockchain, with Ethereum positioned as the platform to facilitate this. While the concept holds promise, significant legal and regulatory changes are needed before it becomes a reality. Thus, while tokenization is an appealing idea, it's far from being implemented on a large scale.
Ethereum, came out and it sort of was like, we're going to build programmable money on Bitcoin. That was sort of the original idea. Then it was like, well, we're not going to do it on Bitcoin because Bitcoin's too slow, so we're going to do it. We're going to make our own blockchain that's going to be fully programmable. It's going to have all these features. And that sort of morphed into this idea of we're going to be the world computer, right? And people are like, well, world computer, that sounds valuable. I want a piece of that world computer. How many coins are there in the world computer? Don't worry, they're going to be making all these new coins. And don't worry, the team's got a whole bunch of these coins. But this is the future. It's super complicated, but you can't possibly understand, but it's the future. So that's sort of the argument for Ethereum in the old days. And then that never really worked in terms of, it never really caught on. So up until 2017. And at that point, we had these tokens on Ethereum, ERC20s. And these things actually really did hit a product market fit because now everybody could print their own tokens on Ethereum. And we had all these ICOs happen on Ethereum. And in theory, it's a great idea. Like it could democratize capital raising. So everybody could create a token for their project and everything. Now, in practice, it didn't end up that great because most of these tokens are worthless, ended up, but most startups are worthless also. So, you don't want to say we're going to have a law against startups because most startups fail. No. But that was the original idea of in 2017 of Ethereum is it's this platform on which you can create your own token. Now that sort of got criminalized in 2018 with the crackdown on ICOs, and so the shift of Ethereum became DeFi, right? So in 2019. It's like, well, we're the platform for DeFi. We're going to be kind of banks without banks, right? And you had this sort of site Bankless that came on, and everybody was like, DeFi is the future. The whole point of Ethereum is that you can have a stable coin like Make or Die, and then you can trade the stable coin for ETH, and you can trade it for other coins, and now we have this decentralized finance world. Well, that worked right up until about 2022 when, FTX blew up and Celsius blew up. And then everybody was like, well, we really want to stay very far away from this decentralized finance thing. Let's pivot into ultrasound money. And so that became the new narrative for Bitcoin for a while. And the idea was now we've moved to proof of stake, and what we're going to do is we're going to basically charge these exorbitant fees and use these exorbitant fees to buy back our own tokens. And as a result of this buyback, we can actually have ETH be deflationary, right? That worked. That worked for a while. People are like, well, that's kind of cool. It's deflationary, and Bitcoin still is inflationary, so that's bad. Deflation is better than inflationary. Maybe I should buy ETH. If anybody looked more closely, they realized that was not a very good argument because even though it was in theory it could be deflationary. If the demand for ETH was not sufficient, then the mechanism for this, burn was not sufficient to counteract the issuance of new ETH. And lo and behold, that's where we are now today. ETH is now inflationary, not deflationary. So this sort of ultrasound money argument really went out the window. And you could go to this site, ultrasoundmoney.com, and you can see it's supposed to show a graph going down, like the supply, and now the graph's going up. So, ETH is now in search of a new narrative. And this new narrative that people are latching onto is that it is ETH is a tokenization platform. And they stole this idea from Larry Fink, because when Larry Fink was interviewed on Fox News about 6 months ago, he said, I really see the future as tokenization. You're going to have stocks and real estate and all these things trade on the blockchain, and people would naturally assume that blockchain is going to be Ethereum, which it probably will. Now, I also don't think that we're anywhere close to having stocks and real estate trade on Ethereum. It may happen in 10 years. I doubt it. There's a lot of things that have to change legally before Ethereum becomes this world chain for tokenizing real world assets. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I like the idea. I'm not sure it should be on Ethereum, but it's an okay idea, right?
Fred Krueger's analysis reveals the complexities and evolving nature of Ethereum. From its initial vision of programmable money to the current focus on tokenization, Ethereum has continually adapted its narrative to stay relevant. However, each shift has come with its own set of challenges and varying degrees of success. The competition from other blockchains and the need for regulatory changes for tokenization highlight the hurdles Ethereum must overcome. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Ethereum's journey. If you found this analysis insightful, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth content on cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology. Please like and subscribe my channel.